Excellencies, dear award laureates, dear colleagues and friends, benvenuti, bienvenue, welcome, willkommen, dobrodošli to the European Heritage Award Ceremony 2021. Coming to you live from the heart of Venice, from the island of San Giorgio, where we are the guests of the eminent Fondazione Cini, which celebrates its 70th anniversary this year. For the start of the ceremony, I invite you to stand up for the intonation of the national anthem of our host country, Italy, followed by the European anthem to be performed by musicians of our important partner, the European Union Youth Orchestra. Many thanks to the musicians, to the brass ensemble of the European Union Youth Orchestra for this very special and very beautiful rendition of the Italian and European anthems. We will hear more music played by our young friends all along the ceremony. Let me welcome you all, the wide heritage community from across Europe and beyond, including civil society organizations, local, regional, national, and European authorities, international organizations, young heritage professional students, as well as heritage volunteers and enthusiasts who are here with us in Venice, and also those of you, I think that we are more than 1,000 people registered for the live streaming, and they are watching us from all over Europe and beyond. We are orchestrating this year's ceremony a little differently due to special sanitary measures. We are coming to you live from 2 different venues on this magical island to allow the largest possible physical attendance. I will be your host in the Sala degli Arazzi with its impressive collection of tapestry, and my co-host of the evening will be in Padiglione delle Capriate, only a few hundred meters away. We are so pleased that Alberto Tosofei, Venetian author, performer, and gifted storyteller, was willing to take on this role during this evening of celebrations. Alberto is known as the narrator of Venice, but tonight he will also be the narrator of our Europe. I will be hosting in English and Alberto in Italian, so I hope you all have your headphones. Caro Alberto, ci sei?
Sono qui, Snesca, grazie.
Yes, Snesca, I'm here.
Great pleasure to be here tonight to help you honor all these award winners from across Europe. Come italiano e come veneziano,
As an Italian person, as a Venetian person, I'm extremely thankful to Europa Nostra for the choice of starting from here. Just a few words about the magic of this evening and this extraordinary venue. We are on a small island in the middle of the Venetian lagoon, and we are celebrating the winners of these awards from all over Europe. And we are broadcasting live, no less, all over the world. But being part of a larger whole is nothing new for this island, the island of San Giorgio. Centuries ago, it was already an European theological, cultural and artistic center with its ancient monastery, magnificent library and church designed by Palladio. The Venetian Gerardo Sagredo left from this place to become the patron saint of Hungary. Claude Monet and Paolo Veronese found their inspiration here. The cornerstones of European economic cooperation were discussed here by the ECSC, the first European coal and steel community, precisely 65 years ago, and even a Pope, Pius VII, was elected here in the 1800s during the only conclave ever to take place far from Rome. St. George has always been one of the beating hearts of Europe, and it will be again this evening when we write yet another chapter in the great history of this island. Snesca.
Thank you, Alberto. Thank you.
Our Europe. But let's continue the evening with some more music. We are extremely fortunate to count the European Union Youth Orchestra as one of our close partners who share our passion for a Europe united by our shared cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible. Their first piece tonight, Gaillard Battaglia, is an early Baroque example of Europe's cultural melting pot. Composer Samuel Scheidt was born in Germany, studied in the Netherlands, and was an admirer of Venetian composer Giovanni Gabrielli. Ladies and gentlemen, the brass ensemble of the European Union Youth Orchestra, the stage is yours. Give you the time. Thank you so much. We see you. I think we will see you. Dear colleagues and friends, each year the European Heritage Award ceremony takes place in a different European city. In recent years, we have enjoyed unforgettable ceremonies in Turku, in Finland, in Berlin, and in Paris in 2019. Last year, we had to have a virtual ceremony. But tonight, we are delighted to be together again in person in the magical setting of the Fondazione Cini. It is my pleasure to give the floor to Renata Codello, Secretary General of the Fondazione Cini, for a few words of special welcome. The floor is yours.
Welcome to all our distinguished guests and also the laureates that will be awarded later. We are very proud to be here today with Europa Nostra, especially in this foundation, because this foundation has a very long tradition of multiculturalism and welcoming and dialogue and studies and research. And this is something that we have in common with the mission of Europa Nostra. And in these days, exchanging ideas and relationships, we will be as concrete as possible. And tomorrow we will have the presence of Mr. Franceschini, the Minister of Italian Minister of Culture, and we will talk about the values that we share and that we firmly believe in. Thank you very much.
Mille grazie, cara Renata.
Thank you very much, dear Renata.
Look forward to many more inspiring European encounters together. And once again, happy 70th anniversary of the foundation. But this is also a very special year for Venice. This year, the Venetians and the whole world celebrates the 1600th anniversary of this World Heritage City, the most magical of all. Let me say that again, 160 years, no, 1,600 years of our Venice. It is therefore my great pleasure to invite Massimiliano De Martin, Municipal Councillor of Venice for Urban Planning and Environment, to the stage.
Grazie.
Thank you, Europa Nostra, for choosing this venue to start again with a normal conference, a conference in person. So I would like to talk on behalf of the Mayor, Luigi Brugnaro, and on behalf of the city. I will use this few minutes. You know, I do not just want to greet you. I also want to talk about a beautiful city. You all know this city, but sometimes not everyone knows about the rules, the dynamic rules of this city. So this time around, we are here for an award. An award, it means that somebody made something good, something positive, and this is why they are receiving an award. So I hope that these events are ideas, are possibilities to, opportunities to propose ideas and to do good. So also yesterday, we had 27 committees that, thanks to this event, are focusing on relaunching the city and its residency and the job creation here. And this is also the reason why 6 years ago, during our election campaign, we tried to do as much as we can in order to increase the possibilities, to increase the vitality, increase the sports activities. So we have to focus on what kind of future, what kind of development for this city. But from which viewpoint should we talk? Can we just preserve without doing? Or can we do and also preserve at the same time, and at the same time we can also design properly? I think that we do not need to divide. We need to give awards. So today we have an event that is showing our excellence. Venice, as everyone knows, is a particular city, but this is not outside the dynamics of the world. The residents are decreasing, not just in the city, but also in our country and also in many other countries in Europe, especially in the big centers, big city centers. So this is one of the challenges that Europa Nostra has to face all over Europe, because we have cultural heritage, historical heritage, but at the same time we have inhabitants, and they are part of the city. They're a very important part of the city. And this is a city that needs investments, big works, big. So I want to be propositive. And this year we are celebrating the 1600th anniversary, but I hope that we will be able to celebrate the next 1,000 years in this city. So we now have several projects that we are carrying out for this city. So we want to protect this city for the next few centuries, and so we will keep investing on research, technology, and science, because these are the sectors that will help us out in giving an answer to climate change and at the same time to live in delicate cities such as Venice. So whatever we do, if we are able to do this in Venice, we can do this wherever in the world. So please, let's become a workshop of the new technologies, of new innovation. And I hope that after this event only lasts a few days, but after the closing ceremony, you will go back to your cities, but we in Venice, we will keep facing many other issues. And then we also have our excellencies like university, the tide center. And also now we have a new oceanographic institute that we just established in order to protect our territory also from earthquakes. Now we have 300 earthquake sensors that were set all over our territory in order to protect Veneto region from earthquake. And everybody's talking about MOSE. MOSE is an example of national engineering, and we are we take pride in MOSE because by using MOSE for the first time the city was not flooded. So now we need more resources. So we ask you, Europa Nostra, tomorrow we will have the government, and tomorrow there will also be our mayor as a guest. So we want new fundings for the city with a new special law in order to protect the heritage. We need these. We need 150 million per year for 10 years. This is something that we need because MOSE is not enough. It is okay, but it's not enough. So please become our allies in order to deliver this message, this request. In the end, I do believe that we do not have to cry over ourselves. We need to take action. So especially when I see somebody from other countries coming here, this is an historical city, so we have to admire this city. But this city is not just an ancient city, this is a very modern city. This city has always been a modern city, but now it's regarded as an ancient city. So now we have 1,600 of an anniversary for this city. So if Venice needs the world, also the world needs Venice. So thank you very much for your kind attention. Have a fruitful session, and I will like to have a copy of the deeds and the minutes that you will draw after the end of this event. So again, thank you very much.
Mille grazie, consigliere Di Martin, per queste parole.
Thank you very much, Councillor De Martin, for these very important words.
Heard our messages from the very important debate that we have held here in the same place with the Comitati Privati Internazionali per la Salvaguardia di Patrimonio Culturale in Venezia, with many other stakeholders, and we really brought together forces and voices that are committed to a better and a more sustainable future of Venice. And I can assure you, we also heard your message, and you can count on Europa Nostra and many more organizations in Europe to be the ambassadors for a better future of Venice. And last, just mentioned, you said we will go home back. We can't go anywhere else because we are at home here in Venice. So Europa Nostra spirit will always stay here. Somebody else is in the audience here that has heard your message. And this is the Slovenian Minister of Culture, Dr. Vasko Simoniti, who honors us with his presence. He is, during this semester of the year, the acting chair of the European Union Council of Ministers. Thank you so much for coming from Ljubljana to Venice to be with us, and I know that you will address this audience tomorrow morning in the opening session of the sort of closing day of our European Cultural Heritage Summit in Venice, the Agora. So thank you for being tonight with us, and we look forward to hearing your message tomorrow morning. Minister Simoniti is with us in Venice, but Maria Gabriel, European Commissioner for Innovation, Research, Culture, Education and Youth, is in Ljubljana because there is a ministerial meeting there, fortunately not of culture, so that allows you to be here, a ministerial meeting of ministers for sport, and that's why she was really very, very sorry not to be in presence here with us, but I know that she is in her heart and very much with us. She is giving an extraordinary leadership in Europe to our shared cause. And she fights with us to place culture, cultural heritage where they belong, at the very heart of the European project and the future of Europe. So now we will hear a video message from Maria Gabriel. Video, please.
Dear Mr. Parzinger, dear Mrs. Snezhka Mihailovic, dear friends of cultural heritage, I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to address you today and to add my voice to yours in this European Heritage Summit. Today, we honor all the heritage professionals, architects, scientists and volunteers who make sure that heritage lives on for generations to come. At a moment when Europe is determined to build back better, these success stories are a true inspiration and a powerful example of what we as Europeans can achieve together despite the challenges we are faced with. With the implementation of your projects, you will provide opportunities for European citizens, especially young people, to closely connect with our rich cultural diversity. Your projects prove to all of us how important it is to understand and preserve our past in order to better build our present and future. You have our immense gratitude for that. In this mission, Europa Nostra has been an unwavering ally. From their significant contributions in so many heritage projects to their work on these awards, they continue to act as multipliers. They deserve our greatest thanks. And nowhere would it be more symbolic to celebrate all these awards than in Venice, an inspiring place so dear to my heart, just as it celebrates 1,600 years. It was in Venice in 2017 where I started my first visit in my previous mandate as Commissioner responsible for digital economy and society, through the opening the oldest in the world international film festival. La Serenissima, with its fragile beauty, is the best example of what is at stake. Venice has always been a place where people have fought hard to preserve what they built. Just look at the Association of the International Private Committees for the Safeguarding of Venice. In 2018, they were awarded with the European Prize for Cultural Heritage, having worked tirelessly to preserve this amazing city. A city that not only provides a window to the past, but also looks to the future. Because through our heritage, we not only learn about our past, we find a frame of reference through which we can think the future. We announce today the Grand Prix Awards and the Public Choice Award selected among the 24 winners from 18 European countries. We announce also the winners of ILUCIDARE Special Prize. By bringing the world of culture and the world of innovation together, we show how synergies work between our funding programs, Creative Europe and Horizon Europe. Together with my team, we continue to work in order to provide valuable support to you. First, it is precisely to support the synergies between cultural heritage, research and innovation that for the first time we created a cluster in Horizon Europe dedicated to culture and cultural heritage. Innovative platforms will facilitate understanding and enrich cultural experiences through creation of a cultural heritage cloud. Second, the new Creative Europe program, for the first time ever, includes a new approach addressing the specific needs of cultural heritage. We want to find innovative and inclusive ways of interacting with our cultural heritage and through it to better interact with each other. Third, we are creating a new knowledge and innovation community of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology to empower our cultural and creative industries and to link them with cultural heritage professionals. Finally, we have called on our member states to allocate 2% of the Resilience and Recovery Facility to culture. As a result, our analysis indicates that more than 9 billion euros at European level are dedicated to culture and heritage. We must reflect on the importance of cultural heritage for Europe's post-pandemic recovery in a broader context. That is why I'm proud that tomorrow's high-level policy agora will have this topic at its core, and indeed, this very discussion was very much on the agenda of the recent G20 Culture Ministers meeting last July in Rome. As a result, we adopted the Rome Declaration, and I was grateful to be able to contribute to this important document committing to protect our shared heritage. And this must become a living, practical commitment. This commitment also lies behind one of our most exciting initiatives, the New European Bauhaus. This creative and interdisciplinary initiative echoes so much of what brings us together in this Heritage Summit. We want to bring people together to find new ways of living sustainable, inclusive lives. For that, we need to leverage the best of our architecture, design, technology, art and culture. We spent months listening to voices from all over the world, and last week we presented a communication where you will find the concept on implementation and first elements of a support framework to deliver real change in our communities. We have announced the winners of the first edition of the New European Bauhaus Prize, and this autumn we'll launch the calls for pilot projects. All of this work, and your work here today, will help us make sure that cultural heritage is a driving force towards the future we want, a future that is sustainable and inclusive. Dear friends, once again, my warmest congratulations to all the laureates of the European Heritage Awards, Europa Nostra Awards, the Grand Prix, the Public Choice, and the ILUCIDARE Special Prize. You are ambassadors of beauty, and your work helps bind communities and generations together. Thank you for your commitment.
What an inspiring and forceful message from Commissioner Gabriel. I think we are all grateful for her words, and we can clearly see that cultural heritage is not anymore on the periphery of preoccupations of the European Union, but is coming closer and closer to its very heart. In this program, you will notice the list of the many sponsors and partners of tonight's ceremony and the entire summit in Venice. And I would like to take a moment to thank each and every one of you who has offered your invaluable support to these events and therefore to Europe's cultural heritage. We are honored to be able to hold this summit and this ceremony under the patronage of the European Parliament, the Slovenian presidency of the Council of the European Union, and of the Italian Ministry of Culture. And this summit will also end with a Venice call to action for a new European renaissance, which we shall convey to the conference on the future of Europe. But let's now turn to tonight's heritage heroes, whose power of example we celebrate tonight. I want to thank all eminent experts from all over Europe who make up our award juries for their work, hard work, and that as committed volunteers selecting this year's award winners. This evening, we will first pay tribute to the ILUCIDARE Special Prizes for Heritage-led Innovation and Heritage-led International Relations. Then, we will direct our attention to the award winners of the European Heritage Awards, Europa Nostra Awards, followed by the announcement of this year's Grand Prix winners and the Public Choice Award. And I now pass the floor to my co-host Alberto Tosofei to honor the ILUCIDARE Special Prizes winners. Over to you, Alberto.
Thank you, Snežka. I premi speciali.
The ILUCIDARE Special Awards celebrate two milestones of European cooperation throughout its long history, innovation and international relations. It is impossible to think of Venice, for example, without thinking of how it was founded on international trade. And by cultural and artistic exchange, the travels of Marco Polo, the music of Vivaldi, the words of Goldoni, the art of Bellini and Tintoretto. Science, too, owes a great deal to Venice. It was here that the first thermometer was born, the first concept of preventive isolation, of dealing with pandemics so dramatically topical, of masking and distancing as a form of defense. And Venice depended and depends on new innovative ideas to keep itself alive and above sea level, to keep its heritage intact and its people safe. So I'm delighted to announce the winners of the ILUCIDARE Special Awards. The European Commission and the ILUCIDARE Consortium established these awards to inspire and encourage the innovative use of cultural heritage for sustainable development and to strengthen cultural cooperation in Europe and worldwide. We start by honoring the winners of 2020. That was the first edition of the ILUCIDARE Special Prizes.
Joanna Sanetra Schelliga, the chair of the ILUCIDARE jury, to the stage.
Let's first get acquainted with the winner of the 2020 Heritage-Driven Innovation, TAIPA, the Estonian Museum of Paper and Printing in Tartu.
That cultural heritage is a driver of innovation-led sustainable development. TAIPA, the Estonian Print and Paper Museum in the city of Tartu, was winner of the ILUCIDARE Special Prizes for Cultural Heritage-led Innovation in 2020. Its unique training and capacity-building activities help to transmit the intangible heritage of paper and print. The museum has innovatively combined contemporary tools with historical techniques to transmit this fragile heritage to a wider public and show that print is not dead.
Please welcome Charlotte Bizewski from TAIPA to the stage.
Hi. One of the benefits of winning this last year in lockdown was being able to celebrate this award with all of my colleagues. I feel really honored to be here today and represent them. And they are the first people I would like to thank, because without them, none of this would have happened. TAIPA would not have been here. So I would like to thank everyone from the founders to the volunteers and to especially my current team who have worked with me this year. For those of you who don't know us, we are quite a young museum, we are a small team, and we are a private museum. So you have to really love working there to work there. You wouldn't do it otherwise. And it's an award like this that really has inspired us and motivated us throughout this year. It's been a difficult year for everyone. So I would also like to thank ILUCIDARE and Europa Nostra for this opportunity and keeping us inspired and motivated throughout this year. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Il vincitore 2020 del premio.
The 2020 winner of the ILUCIDARE Special Award for Excellence in International Relations was Archaeology for a Young Future.
The ILUCIDARE Special Prizes provide concrete examples of how cultural heritage is a powerful resource for strengthening international exchange and collaboration. In 2020, the Archaeology for a Young Future project won the ILUCIDARE Special Prize for Cultural Heritage-led International Relations. The initiative is a collaboration between professionals in Italy and Syria. The project promotes intercultural exchange and fosters mutual understanding between students, teachers, and local communities in Italy and Syria, using widely accessible resources.
Please welcome Hiba Hassar to the stage.
thank you very much. We're really delighted to be here, me and Yasmin, who came from Syria to receive the prize with me, where I would like to thank everybody, the jury who chose us, and would like to thank the Avaza, which is a small association and makes part of it with the director Stefania Ermidorio. Would like to thank Urkesh Archaeological Project with its director Federico Buccellati, and all the educators in Italy, in Greece, in USA, and our colleagues in Syria, Amr Ahmed, who is surely watching today, and especially the youngsters who believed in this project and participated with all their heart and showed us how they can really share heritage, how they can use heritage to present themselves, and how these can lead them to start a conversation with a complete stranger. And later, this conversation would develop to a dialogue based on diversity and on respecting each other's values in order to speak to one future in which each one with common hopes for all the young generations. Finally, I would like to thank Professor Buccellati and Marilyn Carey Buccellati, who, without their work, all these years of wars in Syria, we would never be able to achieve this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Iba, of your important message. Ora?
Now, it is time to honor this year's finalist projects and reveal who will win the ILUCIDARE 2021 Special Awards. These year's projects include activities from Brussels to Lebanon, from the Caribbean to here, Italy.
A shortlisted project for the ILUCIDARE Special Prizes 2021 for cultural heritage-led innovation. Video, please.
This partial 3D reconstruction of the Maison du Peuple allows users to understand the architect Victor Orta's vision through an interesting use of innovative technologies. The restoration of this carved facade is based on an innovative selection process of treatments and techniques. The restoration was widely shared through public activities. This new treatment tackles all the main degradation processes in marble sculptures and architecture by means of intensive multidisciplinary knowledge. For 30 years, this research-based architectural and design firm has turned Valletta into a living lab for testing innovative heritage ideas.
Grazie. Quanta bellezza e che impressionante raccolta di...
What an impressive collection of initiatives. We are so happy to have a representative from each of these projects here with us this evening.
I ask Joanna to join me on the stage and to announce herself.
Okay, let me see. Well, I'm very happy to announce that this year's edition of ILUCIDARE Special Prize for Innovation goes to Hub-Free Marble Project.
Welcome Enrico Sassoni to the stage.
So I would like to thank the jury for selecting our project. It was a complete surprise for me. And I think it's important to stress that the recognition is not only for the work that I carried out myself, but also with some very important people that were involved in this project, which are Professor Elisa Franzoni, that is here in the audience from the University of Bologna, where I work, Professor Scherer from the University of Princeton in the United States, and Professor Sigismund from Göttingen in Germany. So this project was about the development of new strategies for conservation of marble, and I'm very happy that thanks to this project, I had the opportunity to work in different places for 3 years, which brought significant growth for me, both as a scientist and as a human being. But I'm very pleased that the outcomes of this project, so for new method for conservation of marble, have been recognized as useful for the society as a whole. So thanks again, and thank you.
Complimenti Enrico.
Congratulations, Enrico. Let's discover together the short list of projects for the ILUCIDARE 2021 special prizes related to international relations in the field of cultural heritage. Video, please.
This Italian-Lebanese multidisciplinary team has rediscovered 100 archaeological sites in Lebanon, in turn allowing exchanges between international experts and the local community. These organizations have worked tirelessly to protect the wooden buildings of Bergen, widely championing Hanseatic trade history and creating links through this heritage across Europe. International restoration camps of dedicated and trained heritage professionals have resulted in the restoration of pivnice, traditional wine cellars that are found in Serbia. A unique collection of leather wall paintings in the Alhambra, decorated with intercultural themes, have been carefully restored thanks to a successful pan-European collaboration of heritage professionals. Professionals, researchers and policymakers from across the EU and Latin America and the Caribbean revealed shared cultural values through the care for heritage and jointly developed new wisdom about community museums.
Tutti I progetti selezionati.
All the shortlisted projects are represented here tonight, all but one, but we are connected to Kurdistan too, where Marco Yamoni from the Northern Lebanon Project is following us live. Hi, Marco. So he's hearing us. So now...
Open the envelope.
And the winner of the ILUCIDARE Special Prize for International Relations is EULAC Museums, Community and Sustainability in Europe, Latin America and the Caribbean. Congratulations.
Please welcome Karen Brown to accept the award.
I don't know what to say. I was looking for clues and people I spoke to since arriving here, and you're very good. You're all very good with poker faces because I had no idea that we'd won this at all, and I'm slightly overwhelmed. So I'm here with Jamie, representing the EULAC Museums project, but of course we are part of a bigger consortium. We are 8 partners from Spain, from Portugal, from France, from Costa Rica, from Chile, from Peru, from Barbados. And so, you know, it's such a big project and we're really, really honored to be here. So thank you to the organizers, to Europa Nostra, to the European Cultural Heritage Forum, to ILUCIDARE. We're absolutely thrilled. I don't know what to say. But beyond our consortium, of course, we would like to say thank you to our advisors, our expert advisors, without whom the project would not have been so successful. And most of all to the local communities that we worked with. All of us had shared values in that the benefits of this project would not stay with our big institutions, but we worked really closely on the ground with many community museums. And so a big thank you to them, to all of the people who engaged with us so kind-heartedly, so generously, to share our heritage values across nations, across the Atlantic Ocean. We learned a lot about each other's culture. We learned a lot about accepting difference. And, well, what can I say? Thank you so much. I'm really quite blown away. Thank you.
Thank you. È incoraggiante vedere il potere.
It is encouraging to see the power of heritage for communities around the world and to understand the importance of these exchanges to strengthen our impact. As the musicians prepare for our next musical interlude,
Snežka, to tell you a little more about the importance of heritage and research.
Grazie, Alberto. Indeed,
Thank you, Alberto.
it was often forgotten or ignored how important cultural heritage is for innovation and creativity. The new Horizon Europe and the Creative Europe programs are putting more emphasis on the heritage field and its importance to build back better after the pandemic. Innovation and international cooperation and partnerships are the key to accomplish that. I just want to welcome also two more persons, because we are hearing now so much about how much heritage has went up on the agenda of the European institutions. And we are very honored to have two formidable European ladies who are with us and who have done a lot at the European Union level for this to achieve. It is Androula Vassiliou, who has been the European Commissioner in charge of culture, education and youth, and who is now our Vice President. We are very proud of that. And we also have Silvia Costa, who has been for many years fighting for culture and education at the European Parliament. And she's with us today. Grazie, tutte e due. But because we want to emphasize the importance of innovation in heritage, we have also included in the program, very complex program of the European Heritage Summit, the celebration of the Heritage in Motion Awards, a partnership between the European Museum Academy, Europeana, and Europa Nostra. These awards celebrate innovation in film and interactive media, websites, games, and experiences in heritage. And the winner of the overall Best Achievement Award this year was announced, in fact, 2 days ago here in Venice, Casa Batló's 10D experience from Gaudi's beautiful World Heritage Site, Casa Batló in Barcelona, Spain. And we are delighted that the representative of Casa Batló, Amilcar Vargas, is with us here today. I think he wants to share with you the image of that wonderful trophy that he has received here in Venice, and I think he deserves all our applause. This is a contemporary presentation of the Lion of St. Mark. This indeed shows that the heritage world is full of new ideas and that there are new exciting possibilities to share heritage, to find synergy, to teach heritage and to enjoy heritage. So, talking about enjoying our heritage, we'll hear some more music. The theme of our summit is For the New European Renaissance. And I want to greet also another great European from Italy who has been fighting for the European Renaissance as he was president of the European Economic and Social Committee and who is with us tonight. Luca Jaillet. Luca, I'm sure you are happy about the title of our summit and we are happy that you are with us. But as we are working for the new European Renaissance, let's hear some music from the old European Renaissance. Alberto.
Yes, Snežka, thank you. Siamo pronti per un viaggio.
We are ready for a journey back in time to the classical age of innovation, the Renaissance, as inspiration for a new European Renaissance that we really need. E quindi
Two dances from Tillmans Susato's 1551 dancery, La Morisque and Basse Danse Bergeret.
Can I have, oh, the sound is back. So after this wonderful musical inspiration, I can feel the suspense mounting in our rooms, halls. And the time has come to celebrate the winners of this year's European Heritage Awards, Europa Nostra Awards, beginning with the projects in the category Conservation. Please start the video clip presenting all 9 winners in this category.
The restoration of this former freight station into a multimodal hub was undertaken with full respect for the original fabric, and sustainable solutions were used throughout.
The building concept is actually that of a covered city quarter. It's organized around a central square with streets running through it. Thus, it also can play an important social role within the neighborhood and the larger community.
This project has been respectfully recovered and created a simplified redesign of the Fredensborg Palace Garden. This important Baroque monument has been carried into a sustainable, climate-friendly future, also thanks to its strong interdisciplinary approach. Capacity building and interdisciplinary international knowledge exchange between Georgian and Italian experts is credited with solving the unique problems affecting this site, one of the most important examples of medieval heritage in Georgia. This domestic structure is Weimar's first Bauhaus building and represents the exciting new vision for modern living that was proposed by the 20th century movement. This project has preserved the authenticity of the building and cleverly presents these ideas to visitors. This stunning single-arch stone bridge suddenly collapsed in 2015. Research and documentation formed a solid foundation for restoring the bridge to its former beauty, with traditional materials and techniques used in its reconstruction. This project was undertaken to demonstrate best practice in the conservation of historic buildings in Dublin. It makes clear the inherent value of the city's existing buildings to both the public and to policymakers.
One of the few things that expresses our identity on a local level, on a national level, is our historic building stock. And in the case of Ormond Quay, it represents that in spades, from the traditional brickwork that is inherent in Dublin, to the types of sash windows that we have, to the joinery details. All of these elements are specific to Dublin, and we should be cherishing them, we should be celebrating them and conserving them.
This beautiful rural church was carefully restored using traditional materials and techniques in a collaborative way, allowing for the exchange of ideas and knowledge amongst international participants.
Această comunitate și cu echipele de specialiști și voluntari care s-au perindat aici au demonstrat că patrimoniul de fapt privește pe toată lumea și că nu e o chestie atât de elitistă de care nu se ating decât unii și ceilalți stau și observă, ci dimpotrivă este un efort cumulat.
Archival research and the oral testimonies of workers have informed the authentic recovery of this industrial heritage building. The original function of the site has been carefully presented, while contemporary artistic expression has also been thoughtfully integrated. The project serves as a strong example for the adaptive reuse of this type of heritage. This sensitive renovation was fully integrated into the development and management of the natural park and landscape, and is reflective of the inhabitants' own relationship with nature.
Nuestro trabajo se centró en conocer a fondo el edificio, tanto a nivel histórico como constructivo. En la intervención se planteó manteniendo por un lado aquellos elementos constructivos más bien conservados, por su valor como documento histórico irrepetible, y por otro lado reconstruyendo el resto con las mismas técnicas y materiales tradicionales, dando como resultado un edificio homogéneo que conserva todo su carácter original.
What an impressive collection of outstanding and exemplary award-winning achievements. The selection of these awards was made by a European jury of experts, chaired by Professor Koen van Balen from Belgium. So Koen, dear, can you join us here on stage, because we will start with the presentation of the awards. Welcome, Koen. So, the first award goes to Belgium, to the Gare Maritime de Bruxelles. And then from Brussels we go to Denmark, to the Vredesborg Palace Garden. And from Denmark, we go to Georgia, to the Varzia Rock Cut Complex. And from Georgia, we travel all the way to Germany, to the Haus am Horn in Weimar. And from Weimar, we go all the way to Greece, to the Plaka Bridge in Epirus. From Greece, we go all the way to Ireland, to Dublin's 18 Ormond Quay Upper. And from west, we head back east to Romania, to the wooden church of Urși village. And for the last two stops of this formidable European journey, we go to Spain. First, to the Besós Water Tower in Barcelona. And finally, to the Mas de Burot in El Sports Natural Park. What a wonderful European bouquet, I would say. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make a big, big applause for all 9 winners from the category Conservation. Congratulations to you all. So, I would kindly ask you now to go back to your seats, because we will continue with the 3 other categories. The following category pays homage to the most exemplary research projects connected to heritage. Please launch the video.
This interdisciplinary project provides new knowledge about the degradation of ancient fibers, informing both archaeological practice and providing crucial knowledge for Europeans as we face climate change and look for solutions for dealing with the waste produced by the fashion and textile industries. This research focuses on the practice of industrial heritage reuse in Europe and provides a much-needed alternative framework for its conservation. It has made a major contribution to a better understanding of the issues involved in preserving this heritage.
What came as a complete surprise to me, though, was the realization that the cornerstone of every single project I looked into was actually a highly determined person or group of people.
AI technology has enabled these experts to triage heritage buildings, thus better meeting the conservation needs of our built heritage.
Hoy en día el concepto que trabaja este proyecto se entiende bien por la pandemia. En la pandemia hemos visto que tenemos unas amenazas y hay personas más o menos vulnerables. Lo mismo ocurre con los bienes culturales. Hay una serie de amenazas, una serie de riesgos, pero hay monumentos que son más o menos vulnerables. Y es lo que nosotros trabajamos en este proyecto.
The selection of these outstanding research projects was made by a European jury of experts chaired by architect Étienne Poncelet from France. And I invite cher Étienne me joindre sur le podium. Bienvenue, Étienne. So the awards will be given in the following order. Fibranet, fibers in ancient European textiles from Denmark and Greece. As we have just heard, that was a collaboration between two countries, Denmark and Greece. The next project is also a product collaboration, Control Shift, European Industrial Heritage Reuse in Review from a Greek researcher working in the Netherlands. And finally, ArtRisk, artificial intelligence applied to preventing conservation from Spain. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you agree with me. This is a fantastic expression how much women and female power for heritage is. So, applause for the winners in the category research. Congratulations. So, if you can take your seats. And so now we will go for the next, merci Etienne. The next category is the category Education, Training and Awareness Raising. Kindly ask you to start the video.
The Taratansi Foundation presents the intangible cultural heritage of Bulgaria to a contemporary public in new ways, in the form of workshops, exhibitions, and products such as games and self-learning books.
чрез визуалното представяне на народните хора превръщаме танца от традиционно сценично изкуство в графично изображение.
То може да бъде разбрано от всеки, независимо от езика и народността му.
По този начин целим да превърнем нашата методология в средство за междукултурен диалог.
This innovative project allowed young students from Finland, Serbia and Spain to define their own understanding of cultural heritage and enabled exciting exchanges across borders and generations.
Participating in a project that has helped us to get to know our culture and our heritage more has been very enriching for us. And I think it's a way that we can all connect as a whole country, as a whole continent.
Sve što vama znači, to može da bude neko kulturno naslijeđe.
This exhibition shows the relevance of a historical case of anti-Semitism to contemporary conversations around discrimination and intolerance in today's Europe. It stimulates critical reflection on the construction of a hostile other and the power of propaganda and fake news.
Sono convinta che i musei possano contribuire a modificare la mentalità delle persone.
I do believe that museums can belong to a single community consisting of a patchwork of different culture and faiths.
A specially renovated medieval church in Groningen has become the perfect setting for cultural exchanges between school children who learn about the holidays and related traditions of Christian and Islamic religions. The children share their own experience of these traditions with the understanding that what and how we celebrate says something about our identity. The project presents an imaginative reuse of religious heritage. The European Solidarity Centre presents the history of the peaceful revolution which marked a turning point for democracy in the history of Poland and of Europe.
The European Solidarity Centre is a unique institution, a museum as well as a modern agora, gathering people who feel responsible for modern solidarity and democracy. A public space that attracts families and activists, scientists and students, witnesses and political leaders alike.
The traditional craft of lime making has been successfully preserved by this local community in Spain through awareness-raising and educational activities and according to the principles of a circular economy. The contemporary challenges of climate change and sustainability have been closely considered in their efforts, demonstrating the relevance of this traditional technique to the contemporary world. This experiment in technology-enabled participation in archaeology was conceived in response to the COVID-19 lockdown and resulted in the digital participation of people from 90 countries, most of whom were entirely new to archaeology.
This is one of the most exciting and important impacts of archaeology at home. It united citizens with professional archaeologists and researchers across the world on an entirely new scale, and it introduced archaeology to a whole new audience. We think that this is what the future looks like for archaeology and heritage.
This fascinating project has used crowdsourced information to uncover surprising links between London's mulberry trees and the city's heritage. The project represents an innovative way of learning, teaching and researching the history of a place, allowing veteran trees of London to be perceived as living cultural objects, each with a story to tell of its environment.
So one of the great and fascinating things about the project is to find these old mulberry trees and to see what was standing there when they were planted. They've got their roots in gardens that have disappeared, and that's one of the great joys of this project.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the selection of these awards was made by a jury of experts chaired by Maria Cristina Vanini from Italy. And cara Cristina, I'm asked you to join me on stage. Ciao Cristina, benvenuta.
Welcome, Christina.
Tour of Europe. Following, we start in Bulgaria, following in the steps of Bulgarian folklore. I can share with you that on the 1st of September, we have been dancing together in Sofia with Maria Gabriel together. So it was a fabulous moment when we were dancing the Oro together in Sofia. So from Bulgaria, we go to heritage hubs, but they are scattered around Europe: Finland, Italy, Serbia, and Spain. From the heritage hubs, we go to Trento, the invention of a guilty party. And from Trento, we go to Groningen in the Netherlands, holidays in the east and west, the school church. And from Groningen, we go to Gdańsk, the European Solidarity Center and its permanent exhibition. And from Gdańsk, we go all the way to Moron de la Frontera, Moron Artisan Lime. And from Spain, we will go to United Kingdom, archaeology at home. We regret that the Morus Londinium project cannot attend this evening, but we are so pleased to be connected to Peter Coles all the way from London. Peter, are you there?
I am indeed. Thank you very much.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, and I'm so sorry not to be with you.
Congratulations, Peter.
Thank you very much.
So, and now, for all winners in the category Education, Training and Awareness Raising, a big, big applause. Congratulations to you all. And now, the last category, but most certainly not the least. The awards in the category Dedicated Service to Heritage honor individuals and organizations for their long-standing commitment to cultural heritage in Europe. Please start the video clip.
This inspiring foundation has overcome exceptional difficulties to help preserve the beautiful heritage of Girocastra, demonstrating true dedication to heritage for over 20 years.
Girocastra Foundation in the last years and in the future, I think, will develop the spirit and practice of activism, meaning activism for protection of heritage.
This bicommunal committee was established in 2008 by the Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot leaders under the auspices of the UN to collaboratively restore Cyprus's shared heritage.
Many civilizations have passed through Cyprus, which has a history that exceeds 10,000 years. The traditions, and customs of all these civilizations live with us through our monuments.
Whatever we divided destroy, united and together we restore for a multicultural and peaceful Cyprus.
For more than 70 years, Rita Barnia has cultivated her passion for the art of lace making as a creator, a collector, a teacher and a promoter of this craft, an important element of Europe's intangible heritage.
Spero di aver trasmesso la mia passione e di avere sensibilizzato il valore artistico dei manufatti eseguiti dalle donne, dai secoli passati fino ai giorni nostri.
6. This group has collected and documented Portuguese popular culture, including traditional music, dances, theatre, customs and habits of Portuguese rural communities, with the aim of making this common heritage truly accessible to all. They have transformed these traditions into vibrant contemporary cultural events, from theatre performances to musical or dance spectacles.
What a variety and what a richness of dedication to cultural heritage. And the selection of these winners was made by an eminent European jury of experts chaired by our Vice President Androula Vasiliou from Cyprus. Dear Androula, join me on stage. Shall we start our journey through Europe? And we start in the Balkans, in Albania, Giro Castra Foundation. And from Albania, we go to Cyprus. Technical Committee on Cultural Heritage. Exceptionally represented by two winners. From Cyprus we go to Italy, Signora Rita Barnia. And from Italy, we go to Portugal, GEFAC, a group of ethnography and folklore of the Academy of Coimbra. Wonderful, wonderful. Please, a big applause for these extraordinary people, extraordinary organization that make us proud of our Europe. So, I will kindly ask you to go back to your seats. Thank you, Androula. So, shall we once again applaud for all of our winners, in all 4 categories. And thank you. We owe you so much. Our shared cultural heritage and our Europe owe you so much. But now is the time to return to our friends in the Sala Capriate and to hear some more music. Alberto?
Sneska. Grazie, quanta bellezza, quanta bellezza.
Yes, so much beauty. Such wonderful projects and such great heritage heroes. It is touching to learn about all these positive forces that make Europe a better and more beautiful place. Our natural, cultural and material heritage needs more than ever the power of their example. We need to go and take one further step to save and protect our environment, to take right and courageous decisions to fight climate change. Cultural heritage can be a powerful tool to help us achieve these goals. And many of tonight's award winners are showing us the way. What better way to honor these heritage stars than to go to the stars and look at our fragile blue Earth from far, far away, all the way from Jupiter.
For the wind quintet of the European Union Youth Orchestra will play for you an excerpt from Jupiter, part of the Planets by Gustav Holst, in an arrangement for wind quintet.
What a joy to hear music again performed live, and what a joy it must be for these young musicians finally to do it not behind their computer in their sleeping rooms, but to be here and to have the real audience. So this is really an ode to joy. So these musicians brought us to Jupiter, but so we are going to go back from Jupiter to planet Earth. And I'm going to take you now to the city of Berlin. Our executive president, Hermann Parzinger, was looking so much forward also to be here for the first time and to see the members of the Europa Nostra family and the extended family with all our partners in person. But this week, he had an extraordinary task to perform. It was this week that the Humboldt Forum, the largest new cultural investment and institution in the 21st century in Germany and hence in Europe, was opened. There was an official opening with the federal president Steinmeier, and he simply could not be with us in person. But he has recorded a video message in the Humboldt Forum for us. Video, please.
Dear award winners, dear guests, friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome and to greet you there in Venice. There because I'm not with you, unfortunately. This makes me a little bit sad and also a little bit cheerless. Sad because this meeting, this award ceremony today in Venice is the first physical, in-person, on-the-site meeting of Europa Nostra, and I cannot be with you. And cheerless because Venice is such a wonderful city. It's one of the cities I most admire and love. For me, it's the mother of all wonderful cities. And of course, I would love to be with you. But perhaps I can make you also a little bit cheerless, because if you look here, who of you can sit now in a Buddhist cave from the Silk Road? I can. I'm sitting here in Berlin in the Humboldt Forum. And this is the reason why I cannot be with you. Yesterday, we opened the Humboldt Forum, the first part of the museums. You know, this huge, grand cultural project in the center of the German capital in Berlin, the expansion of the Museum Island, great vision of the 19th century, the cultural development from antiquity to the 19th century of Europe and the Near East. And now, as an extension of the Museum Island in the Humboldt Forum, just opposite of the Museum Island, the collections, the cultural developments of Africa, Asia, Oceania, and the Americas from the earliest times to the 19th, 20th century as well. This makes the center of Berlin a real world center of world culture, of world heritage. Of course, these collections, you know that, are also related to many important debates. Colonialism, how do these collections come to Berlin and to other European cities? This is also a European challenge which we all face, not just we in Berlin here, but many other countries in Europe. But I think the Humboldt Forum can be a place where we really start to talk and to act in a new way. Of course, this includes restitutions, but this includes also cooperation. This is the most important part of the story, perhaps, to cooperate, to investigate the collections, to do the research together with the countries of origin, and really create a new relation between the global north and the global south. This is the huge challenge and the task of the Humboldt Forum. And again, it's cultural heritage, who can perhaps bring forward things which politicians, economics cannot really drive forward in the same way. So this is the reason why I cannot with you, and I invite you to come to Berlin to visit these new cultural institutions as soon as you can, of course. But back to Venice and back to the award ceremonies. Of course, there are several good reasons why we have the award ceremony in Venice. One reason is that Venice is a melting pot, a crossroads of cultures, of peoples, like here the Humboldt Forum, like here this cave, this Buddhist cave from the Silk Road. Between Silk Road and Venice there are many connections. I only want to mention Marco Polo. A second reason why it's good to have this award ceremony in Venice is not only because of Venice, but because of Italy. Italy and Italian colleagues and heritage organizations are a strong driving force for cultural heritage and for Europa Nostra in Europe. And with about 50 laureates in the last years, Italy is among the most successful countries in winning European Cultural Heritage Awards, Europa Nostra Awards. And the third reason is Venice, in a way, is a burning lens for the challenges which we have everywhere in Europe. Climate change, in Venice especially, the future of the lagoon and the city, but also what means a respectful and sustainable tourism. These are challenges we have everywhere in Europe. But we also can face and stand these challenges if we stay together. This togetherness is very important to create really a more resilient, a more inclusive and a more beautiful Europe. This togetherness is a basic point. Commissioner Maria Gabriel today in the beginning of this ceremony in her speech, she made some very important points. I think we all love to hear them. The importance of cultural heritage for Europe's post-pandemic development. And of course, that cultural heritage is a driving force for the future of Europe, and that Europa Nostra is an unwavering ally for this development for the European Commission, the European Union. This we also, of course, love to hear. You, the award winners, you are the heroes in this development. This development, our common work on cultural heritage, would not be so successful without you. You are, as we say in German, Menschen der Tat, people of action. And you have been very successful in your actions, with your dedication, with your talent, and therefore you are laureates, award winners. And therefore I want wholeheartedly congratulate you for the awards and for all your work you did. And if, I repeat, there is a future of Europe through culture, then it's because of your work. Today is a special award ceremony, not only because it's the first after the pandemic or after beginning of the pandemic, but I also have the honor to announce that we will award Europa Nostra Medal of Honor. It's a colleague and friend who dedicated almost all his life, his time, his energy to Europa Nostra. He was vice president of Europa Nostra, member of the board, member of many other governing bodies of Europa Nostra. He took part in many missions, in difficult ones related to cultural heritage. In a way, he was our man of missions impossible for cultural heritage. And this man, friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, is Piet Jaspert from Belgium. There are very few people who marked the work and the development of Europa Nostra so clearly as Piet Jaspert did. And this Medal of Honor of Europa Nostra is a token of our esteem and gratitude to you, Piet. Dear Piet, I wholeheartedly want to congratulate you for this enormous honor. The only pity is that I cannot be with you in Venice and hand it over to you personally, which I would love to do, but I'm very, very happy that you got it, and I hope that you are happy as well and feel what we want to say with this honor. So Piet, I say goodbye. I say goodbye to everybody. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Since our executive president cannot hand over the medal to our vice president, Piet Jaspert, he has asked me to hand it over to you on his behalf. But I'm asking somebody to come on stage to help me with that honorable task. Silvia Costa. Silvia, prego, vieni.
Please, Silvia, join me on the stage.
So why me and why Silvia? Because I am giving that medal to you on behalf of our executive president and the entire board, but also on behalf of the entire international secretariat based in The Hague and Brussels. Piet, you have been and you are still a very special member of the large Europa Nostra family. But in particularly, you are so special to the International Secretariat, because not only you have been a vice president going around the world and solving these missions impossible, making them possible, you have also been there for us, the Secretariat, in good and bad times. We could always rely on you. We can always have your support, your wisdom, your advice, your love and care for the Secretariat. This is very, very special, and that's why, on behalf also on the entire Secretariat, I tell you, you deserve more than one Medal of Honor. But also, I think that Silvia why Silvia is here, because you have done so much for our relationship with the European institutions. And I think Silvia Costa, who has been for many years the driving force of culture and cultural heritage within the European Parliament, has worked very closely with you also, and can say also a few words, I think, in honor. So perhaps you do it from here, because you don't have this so you...
I congratulate Pete, but I continue in Italian, it's better for everybody. In any case, voglio dire solo una cosa.
Well, I would like to say that this extraordinary 10 years, I mean, in 2009, you had your first office as a member of the board of Europa Nostra, then you've been vice president since 2015. So these are 12 years of your life that you have dedicated with generosity, intelligence, and consistency to Europa Nostra. Pete, together with Snežka, who's a pillar of our new European policy for culture, and I've witnessed all this, and I have benefited from this, because I was the president of the Commission for Culture and Education, and I have to say that in the last 10 years, and I can see Andrula here, who's been the initiator within the Commission, well, I believe that in these 10 years, we have made the difference together. These were terrible years for Europe, the financial crisis, terrorism, but we immediately recognized that we had to focus on knowledge, on culture, on the intangible, tangible and digital heritage would have helped us progress. So we identify a new future for Europe, a new European model based on our cultural heritage. So Pete and Snežka, and especially Pete, has been such a dedicated vice president. And what a courage. I remember him in the most difficult moments. He has always supported us. He has always spurred us to go on. I mean, he was always confident that things would go well, and that's how it was. So all my best wishes. Thank you for your commitment, and I'm sure you're joyful to see how many people hold you in high esteem, love you, and will go on appreciating you as a top quality person, as a hero. Thank you very much, Pete. Just a few seconds for a photograph together.
Show the medal. And I think you will say a few words as well. I will hold the medal for you.
Dear all, at this moment, I feel overwhelmed by, let's say, this once for a lifetime award I just received. And happily, Snežka informed me during the weekend, but I didn't know what was going to happen. And this is such a surprise. The president, what he said, and then those both ladies, they have meant so much for me. And I also for them. So I prepared something. First of all, and I know she won't she is not going to like this. First of all, I want to thank my wife for all the room she has given to me during all these years for that demanding commitment to Europa Nostra. And then thanks to Snežka and her staff in Brussels and The Hague. Without their guidance and anchoring, their creative inspiration and logistic support in so many events, conferences, debates, and parties and ceremonies all over Europe, I would never have succeeded. I couldn't have done that. I am so happy to have been all these years a partner in this dream team, as Snežka gives them this name. But having a dream, that's fantastic, but that's not enough. You have to deliver. And that is the trademark of this team. They deliver, and something that they haven't foreseen in their scenario. I would like to share my medal with all of them, but I can't call them on stage. They are working everywhere so that this can happen. So can I ask you to give them a big applause?
They will be at the end. They will be on the stage at the end.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you, friends and colleagues of Europa Nostra, where I felt always welcome, and with whom, and that's the part of the success, with whom we always have been looking ahead. We are not looking back, we are going to the future. And thanks to all representatives of European and all other kind of public institutions who are here, with whom I succeeded, and I'm happy about that, I succeeded to build a relation of respect and friendship. Silvia Costa, I'm so happy that you have been wording your feeling and your appreciation for the way we could do this. And now, so more than ever before, and within such a short period of time, what's 10 years, Europa Nostra has promoted itself from an ambitious voice of cultural heritage to a fully fledged and outspoken partner for political leaders and institutions in Europe and abroad, as you have seen. A truthful advocate for well-being, a powerful fighter for a resilient and inclusive society, and an influential believer in a sustainable environment. I am not an archaeologist, I'm not an architect, I'm not a restorer, I'm not an artisan, I'm not an artist, but I try to be a professional volunteer, and I hope that I'm happy that I could make a modest contribution to this Europa Nostra we are all living now for the moment. And to conclude, I just want to collect some food for thought out of the debates of the last day here in Venice, and just give some quotes. Cultural heritage is a catalyst for a positive change. Heritage is so much more, Snežka, heritage is so much more than just a sector. It's a vector that encompasses all sectors. We should not be naive. We should be assertive. We should be aware that there are great risks and powerful opponents, but therefore we should remain creative, practical and strategic. Cultural heritage isn't peripheral. The green transformation is fundamentally a cultural transformation, a shift in our mindset, a shift in our way of life. Let us do it now, before it is too late. And in the particular Venice situation, part of the debate, I use one quote I like that much: live better places to live, better places to visit. That's a recipe also for Venice. And I finish by: a cultural heritage site belongs to its owner. Its narrative is a shared belonging with its community, but its beauty and its values belong to everybody. And that's what Europa Nostra is taking care of. Thank you.
Bravo. I just want to read you what is written in this medal for our exemplary professional volunteer, as you have just mentioned. It is in Latin, Europa Nostra, and it is saying, conservandi meritis causa egregissimo pitiaspert.
Fantastic.
So after these emotions, we continue with our ceremony. In 2020, the European Heritage Awards, Europa Nostra Awards, honored 3 projects with a Grand Prix, and 1 project was awarded the Public Choice Award. Now, we hand it over to you, Alberto, to celebrate these wonderful projects who are also with us here in Venice. Over to you, Alberto.
Thank you, Sneska. Fra un secondo vedremo.
Shortly, we will see a video, and with this video, we would like to recall the fantastic achievements of the Grand Prix and Public Choice Award winners in 2020. But before, I invite
me on stage to award the certificates to the Grand Prix winners. Video, please.
This intervention represents the rebirth of the city of L'Aquila, with the community playing an important role in its recovery. It is a model of best practice in the conservation of critically damaged sites all over the world. The relevance of mountain regions to European identity has been promoted by this project, which is an excellent example of international cooperation between researchers with expertise in diverse fields of study. This exhibition remembers the victims of Auschwitz and communicates the memory of the Holocaust in a direct and accessible way for diverse audiences. Education is a key core value of the project, and it has succeeded in bringing this message of tolerance to millions of visitors. This initiative is active in many regions throughout Romania and trains volunteers to work under the guidance of conservation experts. Hundreds of heritage buildings have been saved, thanks to the joint forces of professional organizations, local communities, and dedicated volunteers.
Thank you, grazie. First up is the Basilica of Santa Maria di Colle Maggio in L'Aquila, Italy, in category Conservation. Yeah, just a few words.
Buonasera, voglio dirlo in italiano.
Good evening, I will speak in Italian. I am honored and proud to be here today, also representing all those in the superintendency of the city of L'Aquila have worked at the restoration. This prize goes to all of them, and I would like to thank Europa Nostra and the jury, as well as the European Commission, for this Grand Prix. The Colle Maggio Basilica is a symbol of our city, and it collapsed with the earthquake in 2009. It was restored. It took us only 2 years, with a significant contribution to the rebirth, not only of a monument, but also of a whole community. The quality of this restoration is due to the positive collaboration between the superintendency and its officials that drafted the project, specifically architect Antonio Garofalo, who's here with us today, and the art historian Bianca Maria Colasacco, together with a team of experts coming from 3 Italian universities and an important private sponsor. I would like to give this prize, to dedicate this prize not only to all of them, but to the staff of the superintendency of the city of L'Aquila, who since 2009 has been committed to the post-earthquake reconstruction. A passionate team that I've had the honor to head for 8 years. Thank you very much to all of you. You're all invited to visit Aquila and its basilica to rediscover a site that is born thanks to its cultural heritage.
Grazie.
Thank you, thank you.
Next is Tramontana Network 3, a research project carried out by partners in France, Italy, Spain, Poland, and Portugal. Please enjoy.
Buonasera.
Good evening. I will also speak in Italian to promote the Italian culture. I am here representing, and it is an honor and a privilege, representing a team of researchers coming from 5 European countries and 7 associations. We have decided to document the intangible heritage, dances, songs, language of the peoples living in the mountains. This project started in 2012 to be developed in the areas of Romance language, and when we read the Latin inscription of the medal, I really enjoyed that and appreciated it. With video recordings and video interviews to significant testimonials, and for testimonials will be people who were at least 75 years old, we collected and filed and digitized all this material. The method used allowed these 7 associations to share and work on macro areas and micro topics. The associations are Binora Nodal, Portugal, Audiolab from the Basque countries in Spain, who record sound landscape. We're also representing Oscar de Bigogne of Gascogne in France, who focuses on the French language in the French Pyrenees. And I'm also representing Stout de Comminges, who focuses on anthropological aspects, and together with Academia Profil in Poland, close to Warsaw, they have followed also musical aspects. And I'm also representing MA Italia, the Association of European and Mediterranean Languages, focusing on linguistics of social development, and the Association for Anthropological Research, Bamboon, that focuses on cults, traditions, and songs. So, in other words, we're here receiving an award, and this jury has really awarded something intangible. We're talking about things that you cannot touch, but they are works of art. So please be the ambassadors of culture for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah. Grazie, Renata.
Thank you, Renata.
Grand Prix for the awards in 2020 went to Auschwitz, not long ago, not far away, from Poland and Spain.
Buonasera. Unfortunately, that is as far as my Italian will go, But it's a big pleasure for me to be here representing the project. As you know, this is an exhibition by the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum and our company Musealia in Spain. I cannot name everybody that was involved, but I cannot avoid mentioning a few people that were key. On site of the museum, of the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum, its director, Piotr Sibwinski, its head of research, Piotr Setkevich, head of collections, Ela Kasser, and of course, Pavel Savitsky as a special coordinator. And on the Musealia side, our unique team of curators, Professors Robert-Jan Pampel, Michael Berenbaum, Paul Salmons, Miriam Greenbaum, Jamel Zenetti. We have also here producers of the exhibition, José Antonio Mujica, Maite Aguirre, and the entire exhibition team from Iciar Palacios, Ana Galán, Irene Pagalday, Amaya Mujica, Marisa Ruiz, Anya Biederman, all the team that made possible the exhibition. Of course, we believe that understanding Europe, our Europe today, cannot be really done without confronting what happened in Auschwitz not long ago, not far away. This is the subtitle of the exhibition. And actually, it is true, we stand today, not long ago and not far away from what happened in Auschwitz. And Europe, as we know it today, this space of shared democracy, liberty, security, but also void. We have a unique void of culture, of communities that were wiped out of the continent from north to south, from east to west. And we believe that actually cultural heritage, education is one of the best antidotes to help fighting this monster of rage that we still have in our continent, so that in the future we can live in a place without anti-Semitism, racism, xenophobia, extreme nationalism, and we can all call this our continent, our Europe, Europa Nostra. Thank you very much.
Grazie. Complimenti. Last but not least, the Public Choice Award 2020, which went to Ambulance for Monuments from Romania.
We are deeply honored to be receiving this prize. I am representing the Ambulance for Monuments as one of its first volunteers, and I'm here with its founder, Eugen Vaida. This prize belongs to hundreds of volunteers and community and to all the professionals that were involved in the project and are still involved in the project. I'm grateful to be the one receiving the prize in their names. I would like to take this opportunity to thank His Royal Highness Prince Charles for his unrelenting support. And I believe that recognition at European level of civic initiatives that are trying to reinvent a sustainable future is crucial. So I thank Europa Nostra and the jury and the public. And a huge thank you to our volunteers still working on 3 sites in Gurasada, Boksha, and Bosna. We love you all, we thank you, and we thank you.
Grazie. Grazie, complimenti.
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone.
I hand you back now to Sneska Ivesala Arazzi to find out who this year's winner will be. And Vice President Guy Clos will now run, literally, to you for the Grand Prix Winners 21. Sneska.
Grazie, grazie Alberto. So while Guy Clos is running from Sala delle Capriate to join us here, Excellencies, distinguished laureates, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to unveil who will win the 4 Grand Prix for this year. But to give time to Guy to arrive, you might have wondered why we have invited also the winners of the Grand Prix and the Public Choice Award from last year. Because last year we did a ceremony via Zoom, so we could only wave to them, we could not make a toast to them, so we thought it's only fair that we should also honor them here in presence in Venice. I see Guy close arriving, so as you can see, that either he was very quick or we are very close to the other. So Guy, welcome to our venue for this ceremony. And just before inviting you also to join me here, I just want to say that we often talk about young people as the future of heritage or the future of Europe, but in fact they are the present of our Europe, and so that's why we have decided to create a network of young heritage professionals, and also we launched a scheme, we created a network of European heritage youth ambassadors. So you might have seen they have been handing out just the diplomas, but we thought it is a very important statement to ask them to unveil who are the winners of this year's Grand Prix for 2021. That's why I invite Jelena from Croatia and Giovanni from Italy to join me on stage, and also dear Guy, our Executive Vice President, join us on stage. Dobrodošla Jelena. Buongiorno Giovanni. Be with us. So I have here in my hand 4 envelopes. They're very small, but I hope you have seen that they have a golden color, because they are worth gold. They are the envelopes with the names of the winners of the Grand Prix, and they also have a little check of 10,000 euro. So we will start with unveiling the Grand Prix #1. And we are giving it in random order, so you can't guess how we are going from which category to which category. So, Jelena.
So the award goes to Wooden Churches of Ursha village in Romania.
Can we ask them to come? So congratulations, and shall we ask you to, I think you have to receive that envelope. An envelope, and Hector is coming. Hector is coming with the certificate and the envelope. Yes, please.
It is quite a surprise, and I'm not prepared to have any speech. I just can think whom should I thank you. First of all, I think this prize is the community who wanted actually to save this church, and who actually asked help to Foundation Pro Patrimonio. And our president, Șerban Sturza, is the one with the vision, and he mobilized all the volunteers and specialists who stood beside this project for 11 years. It was a very hard and interesting work for all of us, and for me especially when I joined the team and I assumed the coordination of this project. It was like an utopian project. I never thought that we'll sometime finish it and will be such a beauty again, this church. I'm very happy to be here with my friends who also work to this project, Ana Chiricuță and Mirela Duculescu. Thank you all. And I cannot name all the huge team we had, volunteers, specialists, international one, and all the villages who stood by to this project. But I want to remember 3 of our dear friends who are not longer anymore with us. It is architect Șerban Cantacuzino, also former awarded to Europa Nostra. It was the founder of Pro Patrimonio Foundation, the architect Mariana Celac, and the anthropologist Vintilă Mihailescu. All 3 were part of this team, and they support us and coordinate all our work. In their memory, I also dedicate this prize. And again, to the villages who actually want to have back this church. And I invite you to come to visit this one, this very small and beautiful work. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Guy, you wanted to say something, I think, about this same moment.
I would like to say one word. You make, to something, in a way, a dream come true. Why? 8 years ago, we created a program, 7 Most Endangered, which was to help projects which were in a bad shape and to bring them up to a good state. You were part of them, and now, 8 years later, you get a Grand Prix, which really is a very special, it's kind of the closure of a virtuous cycle in a most convincing way. And I'm happy for that, because also this entire program of the 7 Most Endangered was at the beginning a kind of a venture. It was a cooperation between Europa Nostra and the European Investment Bank Institute. The person who was directly involved was Peter Bond, who is not with us, but we have here as representatives of the EIB Institute, we have Francisco de Paulo Coelho, and we have Bruno Rossignol. So I think we also can consider it in a way as a success of a model which we can continue and which will continue, and where we hope that perhaps not next year, but the year after, we might have another case of such success. So thank you very much.
Thank you again.
So, the Grand Prix number 2, Giovanni.
So, and the award goes to the invention of a guilty party, Italy.
Grazie a tutti.
Thank you very much for this prize. It is an honor, and I'm deeply moved. It is an honor especially because this is a prize given to education. I have always thought that the #1 purpose and function of a museum is education. Educating does not only mean transferring disciplinary knowledge. Educating means extracting things. In other words, we have to create the competencies so that our visitors can cast a critical glance on things, to give their own judgment, informed judgment about what is happening. So museums preserve the past but have to communicate with today's people. We wanted to tell the story of Simonino, a child that was found dead. The Jewish community was accused of this death, and they were tortured until they admitted a guilt that they did not have. And this false truth was propagated everywhere with the communication means at that time. It was a fake news. So in telling the story, we did not stop the clock on 1475 or 1965, when this idea, with this myth, was finally recognized as untruthful. We wanted to show how terrible consequences derive from fake news, such as intolerance and instigation to hatred. So our ecclesiastical museum aims at explaining to people the real values of a civil society. And this is what I'm doing together with my staff, with my team, that I would like to thank. And I would like to thank the jury and Europa Nostra. And I would like to make you remember that often museum educators are not recognized as professionals. They need specific competencies and empathy, and in these last 2 years of pandemics, they've lost their jobs. And I would like to dedicate this award to all of them.
After these very, very moving words, Jelena, you opened the third envelope and you announced the third winner of the Grand Prix for 2021.
Okay, so the third award goes to FibraNet, Fibers in Asian European Textiles, the collaboration between Denmark and Greece.
Thank you so much. This is such a great honor. I really feel overwhelmed. I would definitely need to thank Professor Marie-Louise Noss from the University of Copenhagen and Associate Professor Eva Anderson Strand, my fearsome and inspiring textile ladies that hosted FibraNet in Copenhagen, and my director at the Hellenic Ministry of Culture, at the Directorate of Conservation, Mrs. Maria Merjani, who is always supporting me with any idea I may have, and my husband, Dr. Petros Prokos, a colleague conservator, who insisted I applied. Thank you all so much. Mille grazie. Merci beaucoup. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
I wish I would have many more of these envelopes, but this is the last one. Giovanni.
So the last award goes to the Technical Committee on Cultural Heritage, Cyprus.
Aye. As I said already, this is a very special that we have two persons coming to get one award. We have a representative of the Turkish Cypriot team and a Greek Cypriot team working together for a better, more peaceful and more beautiful Cyprus.
I mean, on behalf of the Technical Committee on Cultural Heritage, I mean, it's a great honor for us. Thank you very much. I mean, when we speak as one voice. We are composed of Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, but as I mentioned to you, we speak as one voice. In Cyprus, we are not just restoring the monuments. We are also restoring, I mean, through our cooperation in the committee, we are also restoring the most needed confidence and trust between the Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. And I believe that if we cooperate in Cyprus, we can do a lot of good things for the benefit of Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. And I would also like to thank our father figure, who is not here tonight with us, Takis Hacı Demirciu, and our friends in the committee and the advisory board, and our workers who are working in the field to protect the cultural heritage of Cyprus, Europe, and humanity. And as I mentioned to you, when we speak as one voice, and now I would like to give the floor to my Greek Cypriot colleague, Sotos.
Very shortly, we are truly honored to be here. We are grateful to the European Commission, Europa Nostra, the jury, of course, for granting us this award, for giving us the opportunity to continue working for the conservation of cultural heritage in Cyprus. And we consider this award as an encouragement, as a strong encouragement to intensify our efforts for peace and reconciliation in Cyprus. Thank you very much.
So these were the winners of the Grand Prix for 2021. Thank you, Jelena. Thank you, Giovanni. We will work many more. That is just a simple task we have given to you, but we count on you on many more activities that we will jointly work, because there are so many messages that we have to implement and put into practice. So grazie, Giovanni. Hvala, Jelena. And thank you, Guy, also for being here. I think, Guy, we would need to, you will come back later for just one final act, celebration act, because we have to unveil the winner of the Public Choice Award. As you know, we have asked the public around Europe to vote on our, via internet, which is their favorite project. They had to vote for 3 projects, and only one could be from their own country. So it was to stimulate the sense of Europeanness. This award represents, therefore, the voice of the European public. And who better to reveal the winner than our Venetian friend and co-host, Alberto Tosofei. Alberto.
Here we are, Sneska. I am very excited to announce which of the winners stole the hearts of the Europeans. They are also amazing and full of passion and dedication. It is a tough choice. Ms. Barbulescu from Romania agrees when she wrote to us, "I love the variety of initiatives. Each one is brilliant, and it is so hard to choose." Many voters share with us their motivations and emotions. Nolan MacDonald from Ireland summed it up like this: "Thanks for this opportunity to vote for the good work of so many communities and people around Europe, to conserve and preserve the good work of those who went before us and for those yet to come." The second runner-up for the Public Choice Award 2021 is the Plaka Bridge in Epirus, Greece. The first runner-up is the Varzia Rock Cut Complex in Georgia. And what did our voters have to say about the winner of a Public Choice Award? Some describe this year's winner as magical and beautiful. Simone Agathe from France said, "This project is my favorite, it's stunning." Ilaria Andaloro from Italy simply said, "Wow." The winner of a Public Choice Award 21 is the Wooden Church of Urshi Village in Romania. We now immediately switch to Sneska, who will invite them to stage. Sneska.
Thank you. You should see the emotions here in this room, but there is a lot of excitement, and I would like to invite the proud winner of the Public Choice Award to join me here. Yes, if there is somebody else, yes, you are allowed to come. Of course, it is the big, and Guy, please, Guy Kloos will hand over this trophy to the proud winner of the Public Choice Award. Guy. Please.
I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed. Nobody of us couldn't expect this. It's unbelievable, and I would like to thank to all the people who are not with us anymore, and my colleague Raluca has mentioned them, Mariana Celac, Șerban Cantacuzino, Vintila Mihailescu. And we dedicate all these prizes to the community in church and the church of Vârș village in Vâlcea County, Romania. Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you. It's such an honor and such a surprise. I also want to say that I spent many years there in the community, and there are also some people that are not with us from the community. Tanti Vasilica, Nea Nicolae Matei, Nuș. There are people that they're not important people for the community of scientists, and but they are important for the community in Durs and for us. And thank you again.
Thank you. We will continue the celebration with some drinks afterwards, but dear colleagues and friends, you know, we always were telling that these awards are a little bit like a European Oscar for cultural heritage. And I have the feeling this evening in Venice we came very close to the grand evening Oscar giving ceremony with enormous joy, pride, important messages to the future of our work, for the future of Europe, and even tears of joy. So I hope you have all enjoyed this evening, you here in Venice, and many people around Europe and beyond who have been watching live. I know that so many more people wanted to be here in Venice, but due to the limited space, we simply could not accommodate them. But tonight, I'm announcing to you the special message that we have received from the Czech Minister of Culture to invite you all to come in 2022, during the Czech presidency of the European Union, somewhere between the end of September and the 15th of October, to Prague, to the National Opera of Prague with 1,000 seats. I hope that they will all be then full of people coming to celebrate, and that is also the celebration of the restoration of the National Opera in Prague, thanks to the support of the European Union. So this is a message I have to all of you, and hope we will be many to meet in Prague in 2022. But before we go, Alberto, do you have maybe some final words of wisdom for us?
Thank you, Snesko. Parole di saggezza non ne...
Words, I'm not so sure that mine are words of wisdom, but words, yes, they are indeed. As you know, I love words. I love the way words can capture the time and spirit of a place and anchor us to both. Words are the building blocks of one of humanity's most precious cultural heritage, the art of storytelling. Stories help communication among people, communities, and cultures. Stories can warn us and comfort us, frighten us or seduce us. They can enchant us and build worlds of imagination and creativity. Venice has been an incredible melting pot of faces, languages, and peoples, and with the people came the stories. It was here where at least half of the books printed across Europe were published during the 16th century, the century of publishing. And this is also where paperback and italic font were invented. In fact, it is no accident that it is called italic in every computer in the world. And also this is where punctuation and page numbering were perfected. And the first book in Armenian and Cyrillic, the first Talmud and the first Quran were published. And the first copies are still in the monastery of San Francesco della Vigna in Venice. So Venice is also a wonderful sum of stories. And this is what deeply remains in me. The greatest and most profound thing about this evening, all these important projects, these wonderful prize winners, are the culmination of epic and exemplary stories. Stories of inspiration, dedication, passion and perseverance. A lesson of not giving up, in protecting what it is precious and forging a happy ending to share with all of us across Europe. It means a lot to me to celebrate with all of you these important success stories here in Venice. Venice, a city built on magnificent stories and legends. What these award winners have achieved. Well, what can I say? Words are just not enough. I'm very honored of having had the chance of being here with you today. Thank you. Grazie. Merci. Gracias. Juan.
For closing of a ceremony.
Grazie.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my dear Alberto.
Of Venice and the narrator of our Europe tonight with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, to conclude this memorable evening, I want to thank all the people who join us from across the world and all the people with us tonight on the island of San Giorgio, as well as all the people who made this possible, our European, Italian and Venetian partners, and especially to the European Commission and the Comitati Privati Internazionali per la Salvaguardia Patrimonio Culturale di Venezia. Time for our last call to action in music, through music. Heinrich Ignaz Franz Bieber was born in Moravia and what is now the Czech Republic, where we will meet next year. But he worked mainly in Salzburg. His 17th century music was so innovative, it can still be regarded as avant-garde. A string ensemble of the European Union Youth Orchestra will play 3 short pieces from his Battaglia, dedicated to the god Bacchus, his cynical but immensely entertaining take on war and battle. And in the last of these 3 movements, listen and watch out for the bass players, using a pizzicato technique not normalized until the 20th century by the Hungarian composer Béla Bartók. This is our Europe. I wish you a very good evening, very good rest of the evening, buona serata, bonne soirée, and thank you for the honor for being your master of ceremony together with Alberto Tosofer for this very special evening.